Well, hello everyone. Well, it's been about 3 years since I've done any videos on my old TVs or any kind of update at all. Yeah, it was last back in 2014 when I actually did a video on a old 70s portable colour Sony I picked up from a recycling place or some junk, some e-waste place, and it ended up with another fellow vintage TV collector. Yeah, basically just a sort of an update. Basically, all my sets are now in storage. They've been there for probably about 3 years. Just some life changes and things happened, and the way life goes, and virtually all my stuff is now in storage. And I don't know when it's ever going to be taken out again. It's basically there until I can find a place to, and find a place and space to sort of put everything out on display and start getting involved with my projects again. It could also be some time before that happens. But where I'm currently living, I've got a small workbench here. I've been here for about 3 years, so just a very guided tour of my very basic, cheesy workshop. Like I said, this is all just temporary for now. So until I get my own place, basically, this is where everything lives. There's a few bits and pieces you might recognise from other videos. There's a Pi TV there and a couple other bits and pieces. An old Sanyo there in the corner. A few other bits and pieces, and just some various other equipment as well, which is all, this is all just basically, it's all just in storage in the garage in the place I'm renting. Yeah, so I've done a few valve radio restorations in here. The only thing I did get some time ago was this old 70s Sanyo colour TV. This thing here, rescued from my mate who works at the recycling e-waste stations. Unfortunately, the tube in it's a bit sad, and I sort of half-pie got it going, and that was about 2 years ago, and it's just been sitting here ever since with just stuff all over it. So I don't know what's going to be the fate of this thing. I have no idea. And last time I did power it up, I had something wrong with the colour, so I basically just left it and just haven't really bothered. Yeah, so not sure what the fate of that is, but yeah. So it's been a long weekend here. We get a public holiday tomorrow. So I actually thought I'd come out to the garage and actually do a little video on this Sony little black and white TV I was given. It's in remarkably good condition. Even came with the box and everything. I don't know how this is. I'm just using my Samsung phone here. So I'm not too sure how good this video will come out, but it's a 9-304UE. So yeah, it came with the box and everything, and even the little external antenna thingy what's it as well, just like that. So yeah, I have actually had this for quite some time. Like, I think I've probably had it for about 15-20 years. I think I pulled it out briefly and turned it on, and I think it did work, but honestly I can't remember. It was such a long time since I even last looked at this thing. But yeah, I kind of do audio electronics and audio restorations for a day job, so I kind of don't really do much now in the evenings. But yeah, I thought I'd just have a little go at this and see how far we get with it. Can't make any promises when I'll do another video on it, but yeah, the intention's good, but sometimes the actual doing it sometimes is a bit more sort of bit more motivational than one would like. So yeah, so anyhow, this is it here anyway. I'm assuming this is from the late 60s or early 70s. I could probably look it up online or something, probably find the exact date on the thing, but I'll just I've taken the back off, but I'll take the front off and see. And like I said, it's in really, really good condition, like immaculate almost. Not sure how much use it's actually had. I must say though, looking at the quality of how this video is recording, it's definitely better than that crappy Panasonic video camera I had that was always had to have massive lights on it to compensate for backlight. So we've got the channel change there. And when you you go to UHF, it changes. It's VHF and UHF. All the controls there. Yeah, it's in really tidy nick. Your telescopic antenna. Of course, we've got no analog TV here, so I mean I can't actually tune in any stations. But I've still got my my RF modulator buried somewhere with my DVD player with test patterns and other various things I can feed through it if I even manage to get it working properly. That's it even still goes. So we got your 75 ohm there, extended antenna socket on the side, and voila, the juicy bits is the back. I can guarantee all the capacitors will need changing. I have got one of the little wee small portable Sonys with a handle on it, and pretty much very similar sort of, I think this might be slightly later, but yeah, all the capacitors in that had crapped out. It worked, but not very well. Don't know about that though, whether that's some afterthought or some add-on, but yeah, quite neat actually, quite a nice neat little compact thing. Of course, at the side, your speaker with high quality earphones. Version for 1 or 2 headphones, so that's interesting. Nice little baby speaker in there. Obviously all your preset trim pots for obviously height, linearity, AGC, all that sort of thing, sub brightness, sub contrast. I'm guessing. I said all my manuals, all my service manuals are all in storage too, so I can't just, that's the most frustrating thing, I can't just access my parts, I can't access my TVs, can't access my tools, it's all just locked away. But there is some stuff I can get away with some stuff here, but all my main stuff's all in storage, and it's about a 20-minute drive to get to my locker, so I'm not going to do that until I just have to go there and get some other things. Yeah, so what's that called? What? This thing, folks, it's called an E-bar Sun capacitor. I bet that's really high quality. I bet its value's through the roof as well. It's probably drifted way off. But yeah, I'm probably not mentioning anything that you guys don't already know about these old vintage solid state TVs. All the caps go off. Little tiny little baby picture tube there. I can't even see. I'm not sure what the number on it is. Oh well, no further ado, let's got my trusty Variac here. It's just basically it's all stepped voltages, and it goes from about 110 all the way. And ironically, that's actually about 230 volts. It's not 210. So it actually puts at about 300 volts if you wind it right up. So that's about 230 odd volts via my meter. I just double checked that. This is a New Zealand made one, so it's probably probably a little bit slapped together, but it seems to do the job. Right, I'll just spin it around and flick the switch and wait for the magic smoke. That's promising. We've got a bit of static there. Waiting. Do we have a picture? Oh, look at that. We do too. And yeah, obviously the flickering is actually the diagonal lines is actually the refresh rate on the camera. Seems to be a common problem now with some of these high definition cameras. I'm finding that the refresh rate is out. It's not syncing properly. But well, that's actually promising. Actually, look at that. It actually does work. And the picture tube's got plenty of brightness. There's plenty of brightness. Incidentally, too, I was going through some of my old videos, and I did find some old videos I'd filmed not long before my sets went in storage. I did like a sort of a few little videos on a few sets I'd never even tried, and I did like a sort of a 5 or 10 minute sort of talk on them. I might upload those at some stage when I can get them off the old hard drive. Well, that's interesting. That's what a bugger. Wish I had a analog source I could hook up to this and just to bring up a picture on it. Yeah, I did give a lot of my smaller black and white TVs away, and some of my other ones as well. I just basically ran out of room. My storage locker was already chock, and I gave a whole lot of stuff away. Some of it unfortunately had to be dumped, but I kept the bulk of the really good stuff. And maybe one day when I get everything back out, I can start doing proper vintage restorations again with full running commentary like I used to do. But yeah, well, that actually seems to seems to work. Okay, well, might just be a case of hooking up an analog signal to it and seeing what happens. It's a bit of a half I expecting it to actually fault or something or not work, but oh, well, it's interesting. Oh God. Oh, it's not there. I'll pull it up, see if we can pick up anything around here. More than likely not, probably some pick up. It might be from the phone, but it's not. There it is. There'll be some power supply or some set-top box or some computer resonating some hash or shit from its bloody... Yeah. I don't know what that is actually. It's about 69, channel 69. Could be anything. Actually, there are multiple places. How hot things are getting. He seems to be quite happy in there. Maybe it's not so bad after all. Who knows? Yuck. Oh, jeez, that gave me a fright. The damn thing fell down. Trust me, I was really, really close in there. I'm really suspect of all those capacitors. But then again, it seems to be actually behaving itself. Oh, hang on. Hello. That's interesting. It's got a dirty connection or something there somewhere. Probably one of those hot pots or something is dirty or something like that, I'd say. I don't know. I'm going to start fiddling too much. I have no idea what any of these do. I don't really want to start twisting with it too much. What's the height? No, it's not show height there. Maybe the controller's a bit dirty or something, I don't know. Must be hot down there, I'd say. Also don't really, you know, these germanium transistors too, don't really trust them, but yeah, I quite like to have a whole board actually unplugs. The edge connector there, and 2 screws, because the whole thing just unplugs. They've even color coded the wires too, which is good. All the wires are all color coded as well. It makes it handy. Turn that racket down. Sorry, I'm not sure what the camera's like on this, so it might have actually blown my voice out. I don't know. So this is the first time I've actually done a video with the Samsung phone. So interesting to see actually how it actually goes. Incidentally, I'll just put this down. I might actually show you guys in the back of this old Sanyo I've got here. So I might just set this up here for a second. You can look at the pretty snow with the lines going through it, and I'll shift some stuff out of the way. Show you in the back of the Sanyo. Just give me 1 second while I. Right, now to diversify a little bit. This is inside the back of the Sanyo. These sets had the preheat filament, so they had the instant on feature. But in contrary to what people reckon, the tubes in these things actually lasted for years, with the cathodes being warm all the time. They didn't seem to suffer the death knell of the tubes like some other sets. Some of the American brands seem to suffer from tube failure and tube wear out quicker by having the preheated filaments, preheated cathode, preheat on the filament line. But these old Sanyos, for some reason, the tubes seem to hang on, seem to have hung on. But this is a GT Sylvania tube, A67150X. Don't know if it's original or if it's a replacement, or I'm not too sure. But yeah. So again, we're talking early solid state, early ICs, early 70s, early to mid 70s. Again, and all these horrible capacitors, they all go off, and leak and go high, and or drift will go open. And so I have did start to do some restoration on the thing, but I mean, I said it's been probably 2 years since I've even actually moved this thing, even touched it. This also swings out, and there's your tripler down there, and your line output transformer. That's your focus. That's probably your focus part on the focus voltage doubler thing. You're not entirely, yes. I said I'm a little bit rusty. I said I don't do much with the old TVs much these days, but I'm trying to get back into it. Yeah, somebody's sort of someone's patch job there. But yeah, though, quite the whole thing actually slides out. These were actually a very, very reliable TV. They, you know, I've known of these old Sanyos to solder on for years. You know, 20 plus 30 years that hadn't even been touched, with maybe the odd capacitor or 2 or 3 changed. I'm guessing this was based on a Japanese design, and these were actually put together here under license to Autocorrect in Auckland. But yeah, very much a Japanese-based design. Delta gun as well, so you've got your convergence board there. I've got the 22-inch version of this, same like 22-inch console version of this, and which I ended up I got some years ago, and I tell you what, the picture on that thing is fantastic. It is sharp, it's clear, it's got good color. It's just, you know, yeah, it's a really, really, really smart little set. Actually, it runs really well. And I set it running probably about 5 or 6 years ago, or even longer actually. So yeah, that's a little insight to a couple of sets I do own. Like I said, I don't know what the fate of this is. because the tube is quite weak on it. It's watchable, but it's to be honest, it's not the greatest. So I'm not sure what its future will be. And I keep repeating myself, but that's what I do. So I'll shut up now. Oh yeah, one day I'll get it. One day I'll look at this. It's an old Sony VTR AV3620CE. Again, all my tapes and other bits and pieces for these are all again locked in storage. So yeah, pretty much the stuff left came here because the storage locker ended up getting too full. So yeah. Okay, well, I've now prattled on for about 20 minutes. This still seems to be going and behaving itself. So what I might do is, at some stage, I might dig out. I'll try and find my RF modulator, and I'll feed a signal into it and see what it does. So, not sure when I'll do another video post again. I said this is a pure random off-the-cuff update. I just had a bit of free time this afternoon, so I thought I'd just come in here and do this, just for the sake of it. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, check for updates here at some stage in the future. Cheers.